What is up,
What's
everybody?
up, guys? Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We appreciate UPLINK and the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo for having us on. So, without further ado, let me see who's in the chat really quick. What's up? We got Rocco, Cliff Racer. What's up, buddy? Highly appreciate it. My boy TBelly checking things for us. We really appreciate you. And we got Nintendo! Mike, thank you, buddy. So, yeah, once again, we want to thank UPLINK and the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo for having us. And we have Linda, aka the GamerGirl, here with us today. So, oh snap, 8-Bit Glitch just entered the chat. So we got a Sean sighting. Thank you for being here, guys. We really appreciate it. So this is how we're going to start off. I'm going to introduce myself. For those of you that don't know, I am JLuv81. You guys can call me Jen. You can call me JLuv, whatever you want. And pretty much my channel, the name of my channel is JLuv81. The reason for that is it's a nickname that I got when I was a kid. My name is Jennifer. Love is my middle name. So JLuv, I wanted to shorten it. So that's pretty much it. 81 is how old I am, pretty much my date of birth. So obviously I like the retro collecting. Besides playing retro games and collecting, I do unboxings, I do pickup videos, I do skits with Linda, aka the GamerGirl, which is a lot of fun. Videos with my best friend Mike at times. Sometimes I do live streams. I haven't done it in a very long time, so I got to get back into it. And pretty much when we go to conventions, we do videos there as well. And if I ever get back to Nintendo New York, I like to record when I'm there. So I'm going to throw it over to Linda.
Hey,
Linda, introduce yourself.
My name is Linda. I'm a gamer girl. That's why it's in my name. I have been on YouTube for about 2 years. I do retro and modern because you can't just pick one. And
That's right.
I am also missing conventions. I am glad that I'm here. Let's do the dang thing.
Amen, sister. So this is my sister from another mister. I've been good friends with Linda for a couple years now. Of course, we started watching each other's channels, and then we finally got to meet 2 years ago at Too Many Games in Philadelphia. So that was awesome. And then the following August, we went to Southeast Game Exchange in South Carolina. We were supposed to go to Midwest Gaming Classic in Wisconsin, and unfortunately, you know, with COVID happening, all the conventions were canceled, so we didn't get to go. But hopefully November, we will meet up there, and maybe you'll see more videos from Linda and I. Yes. So pretty much, I started my channel in 2016, just for fun. It's a hobby. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a membership. I have no interest to get any of that. It's for fun. I do have a full-time job. I'm pretty busy. I just got married. I just have a lot going on. So this is something I like as an outlet for fun. And I met the best of friends, Linda being one of them, my boy TBelly in the chat, you know, just so many people, everybody in the chat right now I met through YouTube. We meet them at conventions, and it became like a family. So the retro game community means a lot to me because that's exactly what it became. I got to know a lot of awesome people. Even though we do play modern games as well, like Linda said, me and Linda especially are an avid fan of PlayStation. So, you know, nothing against modern games. Retro gaming is more my thing, I would say, only because I like that it's shorter and I don't have time like I used to put into something like The Last of Us 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2. Those games are so massively big. I don't have time to put in games like that. So retro games, they're pretty quick, you know, a few hours long, and that's it, you're done. And my ADD permits me to play games like that. So plus I love, you know, 80s stuff, 80s toys, 80s cartoons, like anything from the 80s and 90s, my childhood. Huge Ninja Turtles fan. So Sean knows right there that I love the Ninja Turtles. I know Linda is a big fan of the Power Rangers, which she beat today, I might add.
Yeah. I like Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and VR Troopers is another one.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
The 90s was the era of, like, triple threats and all the, you know, fighting. We gotta fight.
It was so much better. Which Power Ranger is your favorite?
That's a tough one, but it would have to be the original because of the simple
Okay,
fact that it was brand new and you didn't know what to expect for like after kind of like American Idol. Now you know what's gonna happen the next season.
that's facts.
Yeah,
Well, who's your favorite ranger?
Trini, Yellow Ranger. Gotta have
Oh,
my
look
girl
at
Trini.
her. All right. That's a good one. Well, Linda actually is the one that got me into the Power Rangers because I didn't grow up watching it.
Yeah.
But watching her and talk about the Power Rangers and the video game, she got me to actually want to buy the game. So I got Power Rangers on the SNES, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was surprised on how much fun it is.
It's a pattern and it's
Green Ranger,
challenging.
he says.
Green Ranger all the way. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I want the hybrid though.
Yeah,
I want
that's
the
pretty
hybrid of the
cool.
white and the green. Give me both.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
She's creative. Linda, you guys got to know something about Linda, Gamer Girl. Linda has a very creative mind. So she just, when we spent the weekend together, I don't know how we did it, but we recorded about 4 videos. I think it was 5. It might have been
It
5.
was
Because
3.
we did
It was
Dream of
yeah.
Game Genie,
Mhm.
the one at the convention,
Yeah.
Homegirl Shopping Network,
Yeah.
Single Gamer Female.
It was
Was that pretty much it?
Women talks on games. That one that was supposed to be
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, we did several collaborations, and she thinks of things off the fly like this. Where me, I would have to like sit down and write a script. She just off the top of her head, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna say this, and then you'll come back with that. And it's like I love that kind of like freestyle. You have that director's ability and creativity as a YouTuber, and I love that.
Well, you
That
got the
I have so much
personality,
fun.
girl. You got the personality. It flows like
I have fun. It's fun.
I take what everybody I know is really good at and then I spin it and try. And I do push you a little bit to see if you can do something. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, at the end of the day, we just laugh about it and it becomes a blooper.
Because it's yeah, the blooper when I dragged you outside, remember?
I didn't expect the mat to do that. I didn't expect the mat to like follow me and make a loud ass noise. I was just like, sorry.
Oh my god, I could watch that every day. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah,
was one
yeah.
of the best times I've had. And Hungry Garaya, what's up, girl? Thank you for popping in
Hey!
here.
She's
Appreciate the love.
Oh yeah, for
Much
sure.
appreciated.
Oh man.
So, pretty much like as far as consoles, I would say as of right now, I have 26 consoles. That does not include the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and I'm not going to get that anytime soon. Do I have an interest? Sure, I do, but I don't want to spend the money on something like that right now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm huge on PS5, I'm dying to play it. I have a backlog of games, an insane amount of games that I have to get done. Because if I get something new, once again, my ADD kicks in. I'm gonna just put this aside, and then I'm gonna start something else, and it's not good. So I gotta focus on one thing at a time.
I
Are
know
you
that
the
for a
same
fact.
way?
I know that for a fact. Just a funny fact. If you watch the Switch, you can see who's playing games. And I can see how fast she beats a game or gets rage quits because I saw JLuv, Hyrule Warriors, and then 5 minutes later, JLuv, Jay Silent Bob. She rage quit. I was like, okay.
I'm like in and out.
For me, I have to stick to one game because, like you, I forget button mapping. I forget a lot of stuff, and it's not the ADD. It's I forget stuff. I forget where it was. Like I can't play multiple games and Legend of Zelda. I had to stop playing everything and then play just Breath of the Wild the whole way through. And I do want a PS5 like you also and an Xbox, but two things. I can't afford it right now, and also I want to wait and see if they come out with a slim model because I always wait. I've done that since PS2. When the slim model happened, all the kinks, all the bugs were fixed, and everything was a little bit better and sleeker because then I can stack everything where I need to stack it because I don't have the space to be.
It's massive.
Lugging
It's
around.
too massive.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I mean, it's a sexy console, but it's so. I've seen my best friend Mike has one. I'm like, wow, where am I gonna put that? Like, I'm running out of space right now. Josh, what's up, buddy? How are you? AC Card Shark in the house.
Hey, Josh.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate that.
Now, I don't know about you, but I can live with a clone console for a little bit. I'm okay with like a Hyperkin or a Retrobit. It's
I
not the end
agree.
of the world. I have
See,
to
and
do.
that's what I like about you. Like, not a lot of people like some people are just all about having the original. And I understand. I have the original myself, but
Yeah.
what I like about the clone consoles, especially something like a Retron 5 or the Super Retro Trio Plus, it's so convenient
Mhm.
to play like a whole bunch of things at once, especially for streaming purposes.
Yeah.
And my RetroPie, which I just got from my boy Xavier, if he is in here. Look how cute.
I
Look
know.
how cute.
Mine looks like a Super Nintendo,
Super Nintendo.
but it's the PAL
All
version.
switching games back and forth so much, like the PC Engine.
Mhm.
I could jump into Master System, just like that, and it works just as well. Actually, I
Yeah.
use a Xbox 360 controller
Mhm.
for it because it's wireless and it works just
Well, and
fine.
we
I have
also
no
have the
issues.
hardware. We have all the games in the room. So it's not
Exactly.
like we're stealing them. We bought them 4
We
times
bought
from
them.
Nintendo.
And if you like what I like about the RetroPie and stuff like that emulation, I mean, are we really going to spend money on little Samson? I mean, there's games that
No.
we're just never going to get to play because they're way too much money or they're hard to find. So why not, play it on something else that you can? You know what I mean? I see nothing wrong with that personally.
Yeah.
Would I love to have the original? I mean, I'm a collector. We we
Yeah.
we both are. So we
Mhm.
would love to have it, but we have to think, money wise, is it smart,
Yeah.
room, like if you have like my game room so small, I also have to think I don't have
You
room
you have
to
become a
buy all this
Tetris
stuff.
queen, I will say, because you have figured out how to put so much shelving in there. I remember walking in and just going, "Wow, I don't know how she fit everything in there, but she
I
did."
don't know how I do it. I really don't. Like
You
T-Belly likes to sleep in this room. That's it. This is
It's
his
so
favorite room to
creepy,
sleep in
T. I
when
don't
he's
know how
here.
you do it. Just looking at Pee-wee Herman and then just going, "Nope." I'm gonna stay
Yeah,
in the living
my
room with a
actually
fish.
my niece would not stay in my room because of that. It was hilarious. She's scared of Macaulay Culkin and Pee Wee Herman because they were
I'm
creepy
okay.
to her.
I'm okay with the Home Alone. I'm okay with him. Like Macaulay's okay, but it's the Pee-wee and the just the face. I think it's because it looks like a clown, and
He
that's
does, doesn't he?
yeah. It's just a little too much. Like I was like at one point I was like, can I? How can I tell her to like just put a couple video games over on top of him, or just like bury him in some video games? Like I don't mind doing that, so I can hear if he gets up and tries to kill me. I can hear all the.
I love Pee Wee Herman
I love him
though. I mean, I
too.
guess he's like he kind of does look like like a silly, goofy version of what's that redheaded doll? The
Which one?
doll back in the oh my goodness, what is he called? Howdy Doody.
Oh yeah,
He's like a creepy 80s version of that, but
yeah. Just a
he
little
was
too
a big
much.
part of
Yeah,
my I loved watching Pee-wee's Playhouse, and
I did
that's my
too.
childhood.
Yeah.
I had to keep them, and I'm glad. Like that's another thing, like a lot of things in my collection is from when I was a kid.
Mhm.
If I don't have it, I got it back.
Yeah.
If I lost it because I moved a lot as a kid, and stupid me did sell some stuff I shouldn't have done. I'm
Yeah.
getting that back because it's meaningful for me. That's a
Yeah.
big reason why I like collecting. It's just so meaningful and nostalgic.
Mhm.
Um, Things that are given to me that I was blessed with, I don't think I would ever sell.
Well,
It has to be something that I bought myself.
you gotta remember the
Not
memories.
something from my parents. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the memories.
It's
Like
it's it's
you pull
nostalgic.
out a game, you go to play it, and a memory pops in your head. And
Hmm.
some games have 2 memories or 3 memories because you have your friends or your family or an old memory and a new memory meshed together, and
Yeah,
it's a good thing. Like for me, to bring
exactly.
back up Power Rangers, I had that as a kid. I got it from, my mom. And
Yeah.
then I got it from you, so it was even more special because it's a double whammy. So,
I remember. I
yeah.
remembered when you said that you used to have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
So,
something that you used to have that's meaningful, we gotta help each other out.
yeah, now
That's how I see it.
for modern game, it's just collecting modern games because you have now a movie. It's kind of like like collecting a DVD. You now have a movie because it's a full-length movie. Literally, most
Yeah,
games are like 4 hours or more. So you get a movie, and if you see all the cutscenes and you add it all together, you got yourself a movie. So a lot of people just watch the cutscenes over and over again just to remember like Oh, I hated that part. I remember that
Yeah,
part. Like that's
that's
a
true.
big reason why a lot of people go, "Well, why do you collect so many? Why don't you just sell them?" I do sell some ones that I don't like, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I do want to watch that movie again, and I do want to relive the memories of me hating something, being angry at
yeah,
something, or just having a good time with the fact that A, I bought this and paid $60, so I'm going to definitely play it more than once, or B, I didn't want to play it again, but I don't want to forget. And for some weird reason, I don't know if it's for you too, but I'm more focused after playing a video game because my brain is like connected to like heightened security of like I just got out of a horror game. I'm really focused now because I was scared and
yeah,
adrenaline and I'm like, let's go finish some work now. So let's go do something and I don't know why. Like I can watch a movie, not as much. Like a video game, I am
yeah.
focused and that's another reason why I keep so many other video games also for modern is because I feel like, you know what? I need to focus more. So I'll keep it. And some people just say hoarding, but I don't say it's hoarding. It's organized chaos.
Yeah, I don't think that's hoarding.
No.
Especially you collect what you love. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, hoarding is if you're buying like things for no reason
Yeah.
behind it. You know,
Mhm.
you just want a complete collection of something or whatever. No, then get what you like.
Yeah.
Get games that you're gonna enjoy. You
Mhm.
know, I kind of I backed off a lot on collecting games as much for that reason. I want to
Yeah.
get games that like right now my biggest thing I'm looking for Mario Party 4. I listen, I should have picked it up when it was only $40. It went up in price. A lot of
Yeah.
GameCube games did.
Mhm.
And that is a big childhood memory for me. I
Yeah.
never got the game. I rented it at Blockbuster, which talk
Oh.
about back in the day. Rocco just brought up Eureka's Castle. That is
Oh.
awesome, Rocco. You just brought it back for me, the Nickelodeon days.
Yeah.
Wow. Totally brought it back with Eureka's Castle. That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
You gotta remember the treehouse. Oh my gosh, so many good things. I remember all that. Like jump in, jump out, turn yourself about.
Right? What about
Yeah.
like what was that other show in Nickelodeon? Was it the Elephant Show? Do you remember that?
Oh, the elephant show. It was so
It
70s. All of them had the fluffy hair and the high. Oh, the pleather. The pleather. Oh, just,
Oh,
oh,
that brought you
cardigan.
back just now. That's
Yeah.
what I love. Like anything like that, the music,
Mm,
anything from back in the day. Like I was a very big Nick Arcade person,
yeah.
Double Dare. You know,
Yeah.
all those shows just bring it back for
Mm,
me. When I
yeah.
hear the music, when I see it, I mean, that's just my happy time. Rocco's Modern Life. Look at that. Ah,
Rocco's
yes.
Modern Life. They remade that too. That's the sad truth though. It's like a lot of the stuff that they try to bring back.
Sharon Lois and Brown. He knew the names.
Oh my gosh, you know them. Oh
That
wow.
is so cool, David the Gnome. They're bringing it back right now. They're bringing
Yeah.
it old
Yeah.
Nickelodeon back in the day.
Mhm.
That was the best.
I have a VHS tape of Elephant Show. I
The
have the
elephant.
cover. The cover is him and her and then the elephant. I'm just like
Remember that he was like it was like one elephant came out to play.
or Captain
Crack me up.
Kangaroo. There was Captain Kangaroo and then it was oh just so many
It
like
just
animated
um,
creatures which was just a person in a big costume.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember all that.
That I always wanted to be a Nick Arcade so bad. It would set me off. How many of you guys watched the kids play it and
Oh,
they died at dumb parts and it pissed
yeah.
you off and you're like you're just staring you're like I could
I
do
don't
that.
know.
I totally give it to me. Let me play. Like I love Nick Arcade. It
That
was awesome.
That's the one thing I wish we could have done. I think that's another reason why we collect so much of the video games from back in the day is not for just the nostalgia, but also because when we were growing up, we were not rich. So we wanted
Exactly.
those games and we wanted that stuff. And a lot of people are like, "Why are you living in the past?" I'm not living in the past. I want what I had back then now. So I can buy that game that I wanted to buy and I can keep it with me. And
Yep.
that's another reason why I collect the games that I wanted to get back then too, is because of the fact that I couldn't afford it back then. Didn't have the internet for a lot of the games back then too, for like the original Xbox and the original PS2 games.
Yeah.
And even if the internet and the servers are not working, I still want that game because that was a missed opportunity that even though it's now a missed opportunity, I still wanted to have it. So I can say, well, that's off my bucket list, even if
Yeah.
I missed
No,
it
I
technically.
agree. No,
Heck
that's
yeah.
true. I like the biggest thing I regretted selling was DuckTales 2. That I
Wow.
will tell you is one of my biggest regrets.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up getting the game back
Yeah.
for probably another $100 more than it was.
Yeah.
But it was because it irked me so much. I had to get that back. So that's probably
Yeah.
my most expensive game right now. And everything else, like from my childhood, I won't touch it. Like one of the biggest games that impacted me was Donkey Kong Country on the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. Now, I'm not saying it's my favorite game. It definitely is one of my favorites though on the Super Nintendo. But I played it at a time where it was really rough for me when I was a kid. It was a really rough year. I was moving away from my friends, moving out of state. I lost my grandmother that year, so it was just a whole bunch of stuff. And that game brings me back. Like I put so much time into that game that my parents took me and they brought me to Blockbuster. Blockbuster had like a competition
Mm-hmm.
at the
Yeah.
time for that game. Of course,
I
I didn't
remember
win,
that. I remember
but
that. Yeah.
yeah, it was at Blockbuster. But I put so much time. I wanted to find every banana, every balloon. It was just that game is so meaningful to me. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I favor it over the other Donkey Kong countries. A lot of people like the second one better, and I just can't. I can't. I
I
still say the first one's better, and it's just so nostalgic. The music is great. It's just
Yeah. Well, and also you got to remember is just like I said about Power Rangers the first season, you didn't know what to expect, so everything was brand new. And then now you have something to compare to and you kind of don't want to compare it, but you do because you're like either you
yeah.
really like the new direction that they go for or you hate it. And that's always what happens with the second comic, movie, game,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. You're going to
Right.
buy it
It's
because
like,
it's
why did you change something that wasn't
yeah.
broke?
Yeah, and then you
In a
go and
way,
do that, and
yeah.
you're hating it because you're like, oh, why did I compare it? You don't want you wanted to leave it in a bubble, and you don't want to pop that bubble, but then you have to because of the simple fact that you just gotta do something, you gotta try, you gotta play, and then I kind of just stopped doing that. I stopped torturing myself. I was like, I can't
I
keep
like how
comparing
you brought
everything.
up the bubble. I like that. That's my
Gotta
thing right
reference.
there.
I gotta
Bubble
reference
wrap.
any bubble wraps.
Gotta pop the bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Of course.
Heck
But
yeah.
no, I get it because I feel like this might be the old school in me. This
Yeah.
might be the old school in me, but I'm like that with like God of War.
Mhm.
Love God of War. I'm not the new one is great. It's a great game. I like the old style better. That's all.
Yeah.
Same with Breath of the Wild. As much as an awesome game, that is a beautiful
Yeah.
looking game, I like the old Zelda games better. It's just it must be my age or something. I have no idea. I'm just so
I
used to a certain, you know,
Well,
I,
I've noticed that you don't like collecting things. And a lot of the new games to add to the time adds extra collecting.
yeah,
So, extra collecting for like, oh, go get 500 gold pieces and go buy every single outfit and then you get that added to the thing and then go buy 500 da 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 and then go collect all the backpacks, go collect all this, go collect all that. It's gotten to the point where I stopped doing that. Like, and that's where I think
I
if
get bored. I get
you
bored
get
real
bored.
quick.
It's like if you stop doing that and you just play the main story and not worry about, upgrading your character to 100%, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be fine then
Yeah,
because I do that too. Like Breath of the Wild, it's massive. I know I couldn't do it all the way. I
it's very
literally
massive.
didn't care about
Thank you,
all
Josh.
yay. I didn't care about all of this stuff. So I just went straight for all of the divine beasts, got all them done. I asked for a little bit of help from TBelly and Ingeniouses and then just went for everything and then just went straight to go and I will not lie, I did not go for the Master Sword or the shield. I just went straight in with whatever I got from the divine
You just
beasts
wanted to.
and I
Yep.
just finished it. So I think that that's another old school thing of like I just want to play the story. I don't I don't want to collect and get
Yeah.
all the DLC.
Exactly.
I
Like you
just
want to get to the point.
the nitty
Yeah.
gritty. Just give me the
You don't
nitty
want to.
gritty.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
totally get it.
yeah. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
but
collect
some
the stuff like
games
that.
like actually got better.
Yeah.
They're I'm trying to Mario games. Mario games are getting better.
Yeah.
Like as cool as as much as I love Mario World and Mario 3 and Mario 2, Mario Odyssey was mind blowing. I
Yeah.
cannot complain at all. Or Mario 3D World. You like the new Mario games? They're doing fantastic with
Yeah.
games like that. Same with Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto's getting better
Yeah.
each time, in
But
my personal
that's
opinion.
because they don't emphasize on the collecting.
Yeah,
They let you do it if you want to do it, but it's not a
yeah,
full major you have to do it to upgrade to get to the next part. You just
right.
beat all this stuff, figure out the puzzles, and get to the next level. And I think that's also another mentality of us is like, we don't want DLC. We want all the game in one and pay $60 for that. Why are you
Yep.
separating everything? Why are you making me have to buy the controller and the game and this and that and this and that, and then I get like
Yeah.
a small chunk and a patch the first day. It's like I'm collecting games, but now I'm kind of waiting to see how everybody says stuff, And I don't listen to reviews all the time, but I have stopped buying games day one for the wrath of like, is it broken? Is there too many
Like
glitches?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
because of so many games being released day one with so many issues, I don't buy them day one anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
Like I used to be gung ho and buy a ton of like PS2 games and Xbox 360 games because they were ready to go. And now
Right.
in the modern day and age, I don't buy everything. Like I wait for the last patch to happen so that I don't have to keep messing with my hard drive and adding 50 million gigabytes of whatever to it, and I don't want an
It's
external
so
hard drive.
annoying.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
that's another thing. Like that's another problem I have. So the modern games are
mm,
take forever to download. And
mhm.
then you have to erase things to be able to fit it because of the amount of memory that you need. So it's annoying. So
Yeah.
you pretty much have to pop a game in and let it stay overnight and download before you could play it.
And
No, give me a
sometimes new.
cartridge, and I'm ready to go. Like back in the day. Even
Yeah.
PS2 games, they didn't even take forever. You know what I mean? So that's the
Yeah.
only thing that irks me with modern gaming, but I love it. Just
Yeah.
I love Uncharted and more so like the exclusives on PlayStation as well.
Mm.
With the Quantic Dreams are fantastic
Ooh,
games.
yes.
Fantastic job
I
they
am
do.
playing Indigo
Uh,
Prophecy as we speak right now.
oh, I'm so glad. Isn't it great? That's what made
It
me
is
play Heavy Rain.
creepy and weird at the same time. I'm happy.
It, it's
I'm
fantastic.
just like, am I losing my mind? I don't know. Let's keep playing.
Yeah,
And
that
the
game,
Simon Says was hilarious. I was like,
I have it for PS2, and it blew.
yeah.
When I played that, I was like, as soon as I found out about Heavy Rain, I was like, I have to get that. They're a fantastic company. They
Yeah.
do such a good job with their games.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they did Beyond Two Souls, which
Beyond
was
Two Souls,
fantastic as
Detroit.
well.
Yeah, Detroit.
Detroit Become
Mhm.
Human. I mean, they do a
There
really good
was
job, so I give it to them.
there was another one before that, but I don't remember. So I gotta go find it in the little sphere of and see what it was for. But they did one more
Yeah,
game before that. But
before.
so
Okay.
far, Heavy Rain is still my favorite. Even though I'm
Yeah.
liking this story, it's not as fun as Heavy Rain was. The
Yeah,
suspense was
I
not
agree.
there. Like you have
Heavy Rain's my favorite.
yeah, like you don't have any breaks. So it's one of those like I'm collecting all the Quantic Dream games for that reason because I just like the style and the format. But I still have
Yeah.
my favorite of is Heavy Rain and then Beyond Two Souls is my next, tied with Detroit Become
Oh,
Human
I agree.
because they both have their faults. But it's one of those like any new game that comes out, I don't care if there's a day one patch. That's the only game company that I will keep buying for because
Right, right on the money.
mhm,
Exactly.
I have not
Yeah,
seen
they
any
did a really
issues.
good job. That Heavy Rain story was phenomenal. Like
Yes.
I had to play. That's the only game I will tell you in the world that I actually sat there and completed in one day because I needed to
Wow.
know what happened. I could
Yeah.
not. I needed to know, and then I
Did
went
you
back
save
and
the
replayed it
sun?
a few more
Did you save the sun?
times. I did. I replayed it a few times because I
Yeah.
wanted the different endings. I
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
see all the alternate endings. It was fantastic. Then
I
they had
can't.
a DLC for Heavy
Yeah.
Rain as well, which was the taxidermy one.
Which I can't
That
play
that
because
one was
I collect
scary.
overseas. I import stuff, so I couldn't do the
Oh, really? They
DLC.
don't
No.
have it on there?
No, when you buy import games, you can play the game, but you can't play any of the DLC that is downloadable because you're buying from the UK store So you have to have a UK store account to download the DLC. And that was the only downside, was because I thought they weren't going to release it
Yeah.
for, because I didn't have a PS3. So that's the only downside of like importing a bunch of games.
Oh,
You can't,
okay.
because the store is
That
connected to like Hong Kong or the Europe area, whatever it is connected to that one. And even though it's region free, they don't let you download a lot of the DLC. So that's another reason why I just say, okay, whatever. It's my retro gaming side, like, oh, well, this is not a DLC. I don't care. Because a lot of stuff I get from overseas because I like the cover, or I like,
the cover art is dope.
and sometimes
Yeah.
they don't censor stuff. I don't have to worry about it being censored to the, who knows what, for some stupid reason, because the US doesn't like to have games fully done. Like the
So Linda,
Japanese.
Linda likes nudity, everybody.
Shut up. It's the stupidest
she wants
thing.
she wants things not censored.
No, it's the stupidest thing. It could be a minor, like, change in a scene. Like, it could
Yeah.
be something stupid as, like, oh, well, he stabbed her here. No, we have to have her stabbed here, and she has to live in order. Like, they'll change the story sometimes for the U.S. audience. Just like
Yeah.
movies, like, they'll say, oh, no, you can't show this part. So the European or the Japanese version will have an extra scene in
Yep.
there to explain, and you won't be confused because you're like, wait, what happened? I don't see anything in between. And it's there in the Japanese version
No,
to
it's
let
true.
you know.
You're right.
So and that's been happening since day one, since like very beginning of like Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, like Microsoft, like they all had been doing the censorship because they have to meet the whatever guidelines. And I most of the time will just import from Japan any game that is originally med there, and I don't mind subtitles. I don't care. I'll read. I have no problem
I
with that.
actually don't either.
So
That kind of like it was weird that it became that way, because remember back in the day it used to be the opposite, where we pretty much got the better version supposedly, because over there in the UK I think they got Hero Turtles instead of the Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
They substituted Michelangelo's nunchucks, which I had no idea why when it came to the cartoons. I mean, you allowed Leonardo to have a sword, but Michelangelo can't have nunchucks. I don't understand that the point of that. It's not that way anymore. Thank God.
Yeah.
They did go back to Ninja Turtles. The same with Probotector versus Contra. You know, it was the robots.
It could be the simplest
and
thing.
They changed it
Because it could be the culture. Like in Japan, characters can't have 4 fingers. They can't have 4 fingers. Like how over here we associate 13 with a bad number in the US. Over there they associate like 4 as a bad number. So like, they either have to have 3 fingers or 5 fingers. They can't have 4 because the mob or the whoever is the evil group over there will cut off a finger to show that that person owes a debt and is part of their like hit list of like. So that's basically why you get some censorship that is weird. You're like, well, over here it's this and it's over there it's that. It's just because of something to do with the culture and how superstition plays
that
a
makes
role.
Sense.
And it could be just something little minor thing that we don't understand, but over there they understand fully because of that fact. And so when you go to collect games, you'll see subtle things of like this cover. Like, I want everybody to go to their collection right now and pull up a Japanese cover and an English cover of the same game if you do have it, because some people do collect both. And you look at the subtle differences and you might not understand it, but type in like Google search, like, why does da 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 have this? And I was watching a documentary on that, and it was something simple that superstition wise played into a factor of like why that game didn't have this on the cover, or why the scene was changed, or what was going on. And people don't think about that. It's
movie covers are like that too.
Yeah, it's like a subtle like
they change
it's
movie covers, titles.
Yeah. And so when you're collecting, you're not paying attention to it because you just automatically already know in your culture what's going on and why this is happening. But to other people, you notice it because you're like, whoa, what's going on? It's like when you walk into a mall and you've never seen a mall before, but you just know that the escalators are faster in Europe than in the US because they don't care. You just gotta go. And it's like, well, over here we're scared about lawsuits, but they don't care over there. You can't sue over there. So it's just like we know little things that are different. So
little things, So that's
a big reason why a lot of people collect all the covers and collect all the games of different styles because of the little subtle differences and don't know which one's gonna be, what, and want to play every single version of it just to see all the storylines and how they play out. It's really fun to
What
watch.
Josh says was the documentary called Box Art
I believe
by Rob
so.
McCallum.
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't
I have to
remember.
check that out. I've never seen that, so I'm gonna
Mm.
have to check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that in there, Josh. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Dragon
Yeah.
Warriors NES box art is super localized, but I think those look nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Heck
gotta
yeah.
get the Dragon Warrior games. I don't have that.
Yeah, you gotta.
That's something that I'll
Well, you
probably have
got
to get in
Hyrule
my
Warriors,
collection.
so technically Hyrule
Yeah,
Warriors is kind of like a
kind of
stylized.
like Dragon Warriors.
Yeah.
Um, but what I'll let you guys know pretty much. Um, I am obviously, whoever does know me knows I'm a huge Nintendo fan, more so than anything else, and that's once again because of nostalgia. Like
Mm.
Linda had mentioned earlier, we didn't have a lot of money, so I always had to pick one console. I picked the Nintendo when I didn't even pick it. They just bought it for me. I was
Mhm.
really, really small.
Yeah.
And that's the first time they bought it for me. They got me Rob the Robot, so I played Gyromite, and Duck Hunt, Mario, stuff like that. Popeye. So those are games I grew up with. And then Super Nintendo came out. And I would say I picked the Super Nintendo over the Genesis because we couldn't have both.
Yeah.
I was just into Nintendo, and I always picked the Nintendo consoles first. It was just same thing with GameCube, 64. Don't get me wrong though. I really didn't grow up playing PlayStation. My sister had one, but when PS2 came out, that's what made me fall in love with PlayStation is the
Mm.
PS2 console. I think that console's phenomenal. I was obsessed with my PS3. So when the PlayStation 3 came out during the Xbox 360, and I think the Wii was out back then,
Mm.
I favored the PS3. That was my go-to console. So that's pretty much how I got into like PlayStation, Nintendo. Obviously I love Mario. Mario is all over my room. It's been a big thing since I was little. I love every single Mario game that's come out. Even the Paper Mario series I like a lot. And that's pretty much it. So my thoughts on the Switch. The Switch is my favorite console today. Even though it's the weaker console, it's still the games on it. I love the games on it. I love the portability of it. The issue I have with it is their online. I have a problem with their online features.
Yeah.
It's not ever going to be up to par with PlayStation and Xbox Live. They got to get their stuff together and do something with the chat. That's number one, because that whole mobile talk thing is
It's
it doesn't work
garbage.
well.
It's garbage.
It is. Let's be honest. They need to do something with that. They need to bring us back virtual consoles where we could download our own games, buy our own games, as far as, back in the day games. Um and just have better, like, not be so glitchy. Megadan and I tried to play Mario 3 together online, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So they can be the best if they want to, but Nintendo's so chill. They're just like, we don't need to,
Well,
they don't want to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. They don't care to, which is fine. They don't want to be part of console wars. They're in their own world and they like it there. But I feel like there's so much potential with Nintendo. It's disappointing to me sometimes. They're constantly re-releasing games. I'm all for it, but give us some new stuff too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Give us some new stuff as well. That's all I'm saying when it
Well,
comes to Nintendo. But yeah,
I'm on
what's
the
your thoughts?
opposite of I didn't have all the Nintendo stuff, so I don't mind the ports because I didn't buy all the games. I didn't have a GameCube. I stopped after like Super Nintendo, and I switched over
Super Nintendo. Okay.
to right away to Game Gear, and then I had also with me the PlayStation. I immediately jumped ship because of two things.
So you
Also,
went from one like that and jumped. Oh, okay.
because of the
Game
simple,
Gear is fantastic.
yeah, and the reason why is because of two things. Nintendo's attitude, like it was the same thing. Like, we don't care. We're not gonna do backwards compatibility. We're gonna switch to disc space. Well, I'm like, well, if we're gonna start fresh, I might as well start with the CD player and the system because my mom couldn't afford both. And I wanted to
Yeah.
listen to my music in my room and also be able to play video games at the same time. So that was another factor of system that doesn't play anything other than the games that it had, or both my CDs and also the fact that I'm starting fresh and brand new, might as well just go with a company that I loved to see, challenge, which at the time we didn't know why, and now we know why because Sony was kicked to the curb by Nintendo, that they were challenging even hardcore. I was laughing at that. I was like, oh, kick it to the man, do something, make them
Yep.
have to work for what they thought was, the original state of like, oh, we're so big and we're so over the top that we don't care. And that was
Yeah.
why I'm okay with the Switch, throwing the games that we didn't get because sometimes it just happens. But I feel like they should have a system in place where if you collected games for so long, you should get a discount, like a punch card. Like I've collected games from you for so long that can I just get a discount and not like a rewards? Like I don't mind rewards. I love them. They're okay, but I'd rather buy a game physical and get a discount for it because I bought your game 3 times. So can I just get like a even $15 off something and give
Yeah,
me the option to do
that would
that?
be more better, especially when it's like a game that's $60
Yeah,
and it's a game that was released for the Wii U. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Which I understand where they're going for. The Wii U didn't sell as well, which I love the Wii U. I loved it personally. For me, I liked it. Um, but it sucks when you have to rebuy the game. It really does. And it's not like it's too much of a difference in the way it looks either. It
no,
really isn't. Um, what does he say? I hate myself for buying the Wii U ports for the Switch. I have complete North American Wii U collection and I'm rebuying because now it's portable. No, me too, Josh. I'm doing the same thing,
yeah,
buddy. I have it, but I'm the same reason because I take my Switch with me, so that's why I play it the most out of everything.
mm-hmm.
Because I really don't have time to sit at home and play, my PlayStation as much as I used to and stuff like that. Another thing, I'm really big onto the Genesis as well. I didn't grow up with one, but now that I'm older, buying the Sega Genesis, I got, gifted a Master System, the Dreamcast, T-Belly and BK hooked me up with 32X. I'm starting to get into Sega. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Game Gear, Linda brought that up. I had one as a kid. My parents got me one right after the Game Boy. It blew me away. Number one, I mean, it had light. So the only issue I had with the Game Gear, because I loved it. I mean, it's big, obviously, and bulky, but I loved it. It was the battery life. I didn't
Yeah,
have a power pack back then. So they took what? How many batteries, Linda? Is it
6.
six? How
It was
many
three
was
and
it?
three, 3 and 3 on each
Three
side.
and three. Yeah. And they drained so, I mean, it sucked because you're a kid. And so you got to rely on your parents to constantly get you batteries. And, that's the only thing I didn't like about the Game Gear. But that,
Yeah,
that was a great system. I had that instead of a Genesis.
they had the one thing I liked about Sega, even though it was really expensive, was it had converters for everything. So if you had a ton of games from whatever system you bought and they switched it to a new console, they gave you the
Mm-hmm.
option to play it on your old system or play it on your new system. Like they had many converters. Like my Game Gear had a converter for a Master System. So that was one thing that I was shocked by, that even though they were
Yeah.
expensive, they gave you the option to keep your backlog of games that you had that you can't play no more because you sold your Master System to get a new system, which Nintendo stopped doing
Yeah.
after a while. And that was one thing I liked about Sega was, well, hey, we are a little bit more expensive, but those games you got over there that you can't play anymore, we'll give you a converter. Here you go. And that's one thing I wish that, they just did for you. It's just like,
Yeah.
Nintendo, why don't you do that for me? Why don't you give me the option
They,
of
they, they
like,
should. I mean, I do like the points though. Like Justin just brought up. Hi, Justin. I bought it too because I wanted the Mario pins. Bowser's Fury is kind of making it worth it though. Now
mm-hmm,
I agree with that. That's a
yeah,
fantastic game. Mario 3D World alone, let alone Bowser's Fury. The pins, I just thank God I got the second set of pins. So I
yeah.
did. Me and TBelly spent 2 hours online refreshing the page until we got the second set of pins.
Oh
My
no.
first pair. This is the first pair that I got. I got lucky. The second pair is gonna be even better. So
Oof.
here's the pins. They're really sexy looking. Like that. Like I said, anything Nintendo I love. But really quick, I just want to get into some of my inspirations of why I started the channel, I didn't really bring that up. I pretty much, like I said, I did it as a hobby for fun, and I think my first video was like an unboxing of I believe it was a Culture Fly
Let's be
box,
real, it
one of the
was rants.
Nintendo boxes. Yeah, the rant ones. So, I am a very big. I watched a lot of AVGN, a lot of Irate Gamer. Believe it or not, even though they were kind of like opposite, I love both of them. Believe it or not, equally. I was more of an AVGN fan, but Irate Gamer had some really cool stuff back in the day. And then it led to 8-Bit Eric, the Game Chasers. I got to meet them and become really good friends with them, and I'm blessed because of it. I got some collaborations that I had with some of these guys that I was once again blessed with, and they're pretty much the ones that really inspired me to just do it. Just why not? You don't see too many females on the platform back then. So even that's what drew me to Linda. I watched Linda, one of her videos, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, she knows what she's talking about. I like that. I like how she presents herself and is passionate on what she does. So her and I were commenting back and forth. That's how the friendship started. And the same with some of these guys, some of these bigger channels. We turned out to be friends. I mean, this is a fantastic platform. As far as game collecting, I pretty much, like I said, a lot's from my childhood. Conventions, which I miss because COVID really messed up the whole year. We haven't had conventions in over a year, which sucks. I used to buy a lot from them. I used to buy a lot from the Facebook Market. I get deals. I've met a lot of good people because of Facebook Market, believe it or not. I actually make friends with that now know if they get something, they'll hit me up and see if I want to buy something for a good price. People gifted me things. Sometimes I'll even go to eBay. Yes, I will, and I'll buy something off there. So that's how I do my game hunting. Linda GamerGirl does game hunting, similar, but she also actually does game hunting videos. So you gotta definitely hear her insight on game collecting. So take it from there, Linda. I like to
Yeah.
hear this.
Well, the one thing I've noticed is it's gotten harder to game hunt than it used to be, because it
Mm-hmm.
used to be I could just go out, go find a couple Goodwills, some, side hustles, and maybe a yard sale here or there. And now it's gotten to the point where I literally have to make sure that I go and check before I start filming, because it's gotten to the point of like it's already been picked through. Like there's 50 people that are scalpers out there walking right by me, checking what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. They're gonna flip it, and it's like I'm not flipping anything. I'm just trying to collect games that I want to collect, see if there's any good deals. And occasionally, maybe I'll see something that a buddy of mine wants to get, and I'll just grab that for the side, and be like, here you go. But I used to remember going to swap meets, and people now are checking eBay, and that's frustrating. Because before I'd be like,
Yes.
okay, that game I don't want anymore. $5. Now it's like, hold on,
Yeah.
$20, and it's like, it's loose, it's scratched up. You want $20? Goodbye. And that's what I started doing now, because it's one of those things where I've noticed that the minute you show interest now, it's like the price goes up when I go game hunting. And it's like I show interest, but I'm not that desperate for a game deal. Like if I go and I see something that you have and you don't want to give me a fair deal, I don't mind now while game hunting to just say no. Like I used to
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to see it anymore." I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, I'm just going to say no. And if it's not there, it's not there. If it's not in my collection, it's not in my collection. I have a RetroPie for that reason, because the
Yep.
fact that I got so frustrated and tired of just wanting to play the game. I just want to play the game. So, because of all the craziness happening with, you know, games spiking for some weird reason, for because, so and so saw it on a movie, now I have to raise the price up because I saw it on a movie, and or
Yep.
celebrities talking about it now. It's like, who cares? I have a RetroPie. I'll just wait until I see it on a good price on sale or something going on, or I'll play it on my RetroPie until then. And I've gotten to that point where I've made sure I put myself in that mode of like, it's not the end of the world if I don't have that game in my collection, because I
Yeah.
need to pay my car, my house, my whatever,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you need to like focus on like, can I make rent at the end of the day? If I miss out on this, it's okay, because you need somewhere to put your game collection. I had thought about that.
Yep.
I was like, buy the
No,
game
I'm with you.
or can't put the game in the collection and it's in storage, and storage is messing up game collections left and right, and you don't know because you can't see it because it's not right there, and you can't regulate the, and so it's like that fear of like, well, my game collection is either going to go in storage or it's going to go here. I'll keep it here. I'll definitely do that. And so because of that reason of like seeing everybody acting crazy with games now, I've kind of dialed it down on, game hunting as much, and more
Yeah,
going to yard sales and just checking out, minor places and seeing if anybody has anything. And I found that overseas it's not as crazy as it is here. There's not many
yeah,
people flipping games as much over there. Like when I went on my trip to Europe and I went to Paris, London, and I went to Rome, I found games I couldn't find. And all the systems that were region free, I picked them up because I was like, well, it's a good price. I would see
yeah.
the conversion to whatever it was to US dollar. Oh, it's actually not bad. Okay, I'll pick it up. And it would be CIB, which is even more weird to me because I was like, CIB just sitting in the,
You're not used to it. Yeah.
yeah. I was
Well,
just like
well,
weirded out
you're
by
like
that.
me because I don't like I don't normally flip games either. I
Yeah.
don't buy like if I get doubles, I honestly give them away.
Mhm.
I give them to whoever needs them or whatever because I don't really buy games like that where
Yeah.
I buy bulk. I don't personally. But everybody's different. You get your collection the way you want to get. Collect the way you want to collect. The only thing I don't like is like you said, scalpers. When you're selling something for 3 times the price, that's pretty. That's not. I don't agree with that at all. You know what I
No.
mean? That's kind of crappy. I don't like that at all. I hate, especially somebody that buys a whole bulk of something on purpose
Yeah.
and then resells them first. I'm not a fan of that. John says, at the flea market, if I see the guy starting to looking at their phone, I immediately just say, thanks, I'm good. And then start walking away. And sometimes they stop me and ask what I want to pay. And I make an offer, and half the time I get it. Trick is to try and get them to stop looking at the phone. That's facts.
True.
TBelly mentions the pandemic's making game collecting a rarity. It's been bad since the pandemic because more people randomly got into collecting and also shot up the prices. I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. Um, Really quick, I just want to give a shout out to Diehard Gamer Bros. Jeff, if you're watching, he's the one that hooked me up with this awesome logo and my JLuv logo as well. So Diehard is a very big part of our community. Did a lot of YouTuber logos as well. So I just want to give him a shout out. And our boy Chris of Video Game Dust Sleeves. Look at the stuff he does. This is a Switch cover. Okay, so I have a Switch game in here, and he did a pop up. He does dust sleeves for any kind of game that you're looking for, including inserts. And he'll make it look like the box art cover.
Mm.
Whatever game you're looking for, if you want custom sleeve, just check out Video Game Dust Sleeves if you guys are looking for sleeves. These are fantastic. And Linda, for you're the one that got me to want one of these. So I finally got a Vita.
Oh,
My coworker got it for
nice.
me. I
Nice.
couldn't believe it. He gave it to me as a wedding gift. I almost
Oh.
died. I always wanted one because of
Yeah.
you. Because you keep talking about the Vita. I've never really had too much of an interest. And my first game, you're gonna love this.
Okay.
Where is it? How do you
Drum
open
roll,
this? See,
please.
I'm out the loop. It is. Of course, I have to have this. You see it?
Oh
It's
no,
Uncharted.
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 One of
I
the only
love
games that
Uncharted.
actually was like a completely new game. Like, because the other ones were just small little ports. It was actually a completely new game, which I was surprised to see for the Vita. Because a lot of the PSP
Yeah.
games were just simple ports that were just converted to be like top-down stuff. This was like one of the first games that
Yeah.
you actually saw and was like a completely different story, and not just like felt like DLC. It was like actually really good. Like good choice on the
What do
first
you
game.
think happened with the Vita? What do you think
Same
happened?
thing that happened with the Wii U. Nobody understood it. Nobody understood why.
Yeah.
Why would you upgrade when we just had it's the mentality of, I just got this system 5 minutes ago. Why are you giving me a new system? You know, For some weird reason, it's like I don't know. I don't understand. I have a PSP, but it's not backwards compatible.
Yeah.
But then it's handheld. But then I could play it remotely with my system. But I don't get it. And marketing wise, I don't think they marketed it correctly. You know, like a lot of stuff with same thing with the Wii U. They didn't market correctly. Nobody understood that it wasn't an add-on. It wasn't a new
Yeah.
like it's a lot of like errors on their part, and then they just stopped trying. After a while, they stopped
It's a
trying.
I think it's a beautiful console. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a fantastic. It's sad what happened. I mean, the games
yeah,
now are really expensive.
mhm,
That's the only bad thing about it now.
yeah,
If you're collecting for the Vita, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I mean,
yeah,
me, I'm downloading the games. They're cheaper to download
yeah.
onto the system while you can.
And you can remote play,
Personally,
so
yeah, I like it better than the PSP.
yeah.
The PSP, the problem with the PSP is it actually made me sick. I don't know how to
I
explain it. Like I
told you
got
you
motion
gotta get
sickness
the
from the
3000.
PSP.
You have the 1000. You have to get the
Yeah.
3000 because the 1000 screen was horrible, and the 3000 they upgraded the
For
screen.
PSP?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they got rid of the spring hinge off of the back, and they upgraded the. It's just and you can also stream. I forgot. 8-bit glitch reminded me of this. You can stream off of your 3000, which you can't stream off of your
Okay.
1000 because they upgraded everything. So that was one of those things where it's upgraded, and that was the last final ditch right before they switched to the Vita because they realized that they can't keep upgrading it without like
Mm-hmm.
really modifying it and making it really good. So the Vita, everybody thought was just another upgrade in their mind, and then when you saw commercials, it was just somebody playing a game on their PS4 and then playing it and finishing it off, kind of like the Switch, where you're on handheld mode, docked, and then you switch it over to, playing it when you're on the go and then back home. Nobody understood
Yeah.
that at the time. Nobody was realizing that that actually is a cool feature to be able to
Sean says
take a.
that you could hook up the to the TV.
Mhm.
2000
Yeah.
and 3000. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. So you
Well,
you don't have the screen.
we're gonna open it up to questions for anybody in the chat since we got about 3 minutes left. Do you have
Yeah.
any questions for myself and Linda, aka the Gamer Girl? Thank you, Linda, for being with me. I appreciate it.
You're
Guys,
welcome.
if you don't know who Linda is and you haven't watched my channel either, check her out. She does awesome streams. She does awesome unboxings as well and reviews, and definitely a great channel. And skits, funny skits.
Heck yeah.
Feel free for questions. Thank you, T. There is a component cables and now even HDMI cables. Yeah, isn't there something really expensive though to be able to put this on the TV as well? I think so. I think you need
Well,
like a
you can use a USB. It's basically to like remote link it to
yeah,
like it's just like a controller. You have to link it to your PS4, and then from there you can play it. It's the same
yeah.
thing. Like now you can remote link your PS4 to your PS5, just like that option's there now. So if you have your
Rocco
PS4,
says,
you can do that.
Linda, what's your favorite Master System game?
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? And
Ding
then
ding
and,
ding.
and
I
then it
knew it. I knew it.
and then it's Double Dragon. Then it's Double Dragon.
Okay, cool. What games do you always go back to?
Oh, it depends on the system. For PS1, Crash Bandicoot. For PS2, it's Sly Cooper. For PS4, I always go back
It does
to
depend.
yeah. For PS4, I always go back to what is it's Dishonored. Dishonored, the original one. I always go back to
Mine
that
is
one.
Ratchet and Clank. I
Mhm.
love Ratchet. I can always go back to that. Definitely go back to any of the Mario games or the
Yeah.
original Legend of Zelda games, Donkey Kong Country, and Turtles in Time. I could
Mhm.
always go back to those games.
Super Mario, the classic, and
Hmm.
then now it's Super Mario Odyssey. I'm wanting to play that
Yeah,
again. So
that's
it's definitely a good
fantastic.
one.
Anybody else? What game would you say you are a master at? Go ahead, Linda. You got
None
this
none
one.
of none of them. I'm just average on all of them. Like I'll say Saints Row. Saints Row the Third. Like I can play it backwards and forwards and know where everything is and not have to worry about it. Like I don't have to like struggle to remember anything. Like
Mine would be Mario. Probably, man. Probably Mario World. Which game would you most want a world record in?
None. I don't like world records.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Miss Pac-Man. Maybe. What do you do with broken games and systems?
I save them and I
try to get somebody to fix it.
I make them into a cadaver. Like I like takes parts, you know, I put them together with other ones. So I'll save it, and if I say I buy the new game and that game's damaged or something's wrong with it, I'll just copy and pasta it to the other game, and then I'll just save like parts and stuff like that, so that I don't have to like look for random stuff. So anything like even game cases, like if I say the game is not working anymore, I just save that game case, because a lot of the game cases are not being made anymore. Like original Xbox, you can't find like it's so hard to like copy the color and everything like that without it looking really weird like neon. So I'll just save, like I have a bin and just in the closet just chilling of like loose stuff that I've collected or found when I used to work at GameStop or when I used to go to conventions, and somebody would have a free bin and they wouldn't even care about the game, and I would just take it.
Well, guys, it's 9:01. The only thing I'm gonna let right now leave off with you guys is the promote positivity. Promote positivity is a big thing on my channel. You know, Linda is very familiar with it as well. We pretty much do not like to be around negativity. We don't like the drama scene. We pretty much, you know, show love to everybody in this community. That's what we want to do. We want to help each other. We want to promote each other. You know, that we are anti-bullying, anti-troll, and that's pretty much where the promote positivity aspect comes in. So that's a very meaningful thing to me on my channel. And I want to thank everybody for being here. We got to sign off because I think that's pretty much it. It's 9:02.
They're giving us the cane.
Much love.
They're telling us to leave.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
Thanks, everybody.
Mike, thank you so much for allowing us to be in here and helping us troubleshoot this and everything else. I highly appreciate you, buddy. Hopefully we'll be able to make the actual Long Island Gaming Expo, you know, when we come back to normal conventions. So much love to you guys. Thank you all. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the love. He says don't go. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what? And what sucks is I got to go to work. I work tonight. But much love, guys. We'll do this again soon, hopefully. Thank you guys at UPLINK for having us. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys had a good time. And
enjoy
don't
the rest
forget,
of the convention.
Promote positivity. See you guys later.
Bye, everybody.
My YouTube on and I need to watch something. JLuv got a new video, so it's about to be jumping like Mario. My bad, I'm sorry though. She got me glued to the phone, I can't let it go. She got a old school swag, but she still keep it new. And she like Nintendo, and I like them too. Always coming with that good energy. Always promoting positivity. So I'm about to get it popping like some bubble wrap. So you better watch your face, cause JLuv slaps. So excuse me, I can't help myself. If I'm watching JLuv, leave me by myself, cause I'm about to go in on this video. Just like I do when I hit the studio. And if I ever meet her, I'll give her a big hug. Like the song says, I love watching JLuv. JLuv, JLuv.